Hi, I'm Daniel, also known as Dark Eagle. This is something I put together about depression and something I've wanted to share for quite some time. So I hope you'll take the time to watch it, and I hope you'll enjoy it and hopefully share it. If you were to walk into an average-sized room, you can look around at the different people. You can probably pick out one or two people that are depressed. Now walk into a stadium full of people and try doing the same thing. Chances are you can't. But yet, 1 out of every 8 people suffers from depression. To the outside world, you seem normal, yet on the inside, you're actually falling apart. What if you never felt good about yourself? Always feeling ashamed, not good enough for anyone or anything, like there's no purpose to life, like no one cares about you, or even worse, no one would miss you. One person every 3 seconds, or at the rate we blink our eyes, commits suicide from depression. What if you were beaten down every day by loved ones, being told you're nothing, that you'll never grow into anything useful, everything was your fault? What if all you saw was your parents fighting or splitting up and believing it was all your fault? You see, what most people fail to realize is that depression doesn't only affect the individual, but the household as well. 2 out of 3 people don't want to admit that they're depressed, while 80% of men and 60% of women won't get help for their depression. People don't want to be told that they're weak, that they're a failure, that it's not real, that it'll pass, or the worst one yet, being told to just get over it. I didn't want to hear I had depression when I was first told. Sure, I wanted answers as to why all of a sudden after a life-altering incident, I was different in a lot of ways. Why was I hibernating all the time, not wanting to see anyone or do anything? Why was I feeling sad and crying all the time? I felt like nothing would ever get better. Why did I have so many loved ones around, but always felt lonely? I felt like no one could or would ever understand what I was going through. Sure, I wanted answers to all that, but I didn't want to hear that I was depressed and also suffered from anxiety. Before being diagnosed and going through it personally, I was a non-believer of mental issues. Depression didn't exist. It was made up. I'd hear someone was depressed, I would think, oh, suck it up, buttercup. You'll get over it. Deal with it and move on already. Why the fuck are you so sad and down? Quit moping over stupid shit. To me, there is nothing that should ever bring you that down on life. To me, depression was a fairy tale, made up and would pass just as quickly. Depressed people are just grumpy people all the time and bitch way too much about anything and everything. And there's the honest truth in the end. You simply can't see depression. You never know who might have it, and you might even be more surprised at who might have it. Even more. If someone walks up to you and tells you that I've got depression, you simply have to take their word for it. There's no certain medicine that's prescribed that'll push or help or ever take away that depression for good. Sure, the medication will temporarily take the pain or thoughts away, but what about the other times? There's nothing physically that you can permanently do that'll ever take the pain away. Depression, the slower way of being dead. People have to face the fact that depression is a lifetime battle. People always hope depression is just a bump in the road. But the truth is, depression becomes their road. Growing up as a teenager, preteen, or teenager, depression is often passed on as growing up hormones, or parents call it teenager attitude. Depression is quite often overlooked or misdiagnosed. Being that young, you aren't supposed to have depression, but it's okay to have ADHD, ADD, or even be bipolar. Doctors are so quick to prescribe medications without trying to resolve the actual issue. Depression and mental issues aren't something to medicate away because they're a lifelong battle. Sure, I'm currently on an antidepressant, but I hate it. The key word being depressed, because that's all it actually does. It temporarily depresses the pain for a short time. I'm one of the lucky ones because there are those who take 7+ daily medications just to numb the pain or thoughts. Every fucking day I put a shit into my body, and it's going to be a lifelong prescription. I only hope to figure out something so that I'm not relying on medication. We all do. Depression is a sickness. It just cannot be willed away. But depression is different with everyone, so it's hard to say what truly works. To those with depression, life can be a blur with no end in sight. The endless dark tunnel with no light, or desert with no water. This being why people turn to doctors and prescribe medication, not to mention those who self-medicate with drugs or alcohol, leading to worse addictions. People are always quick to point to some other drug leading to worse or harder drugs. But is it really the drugs, or is it mental issues taking over? Tolerance is built to too many drugs taken, so after a while the pain or thoughts come back sooner, pushing for something stronger. But you have to ask yourself, which of these two is stronger? Again, with everyone it's different, so herein lies the ongoing debate. If this all isn't enough, imagine being in the spotlight all the time as an athlete, actor, actress, sports reporter, etc. Take Darryl Strawberry, who at 18 was drafted for his magnificent swing of the bat. He went on to win the World Series 4 times and had a career .259 batting average. Retired with 335 home runs and is still the all-time New York Mets home run leader with 252. What about Clara Hughes, a 6-time Olympic medalist, one of only 5 athletes to podium at both Olympics, with 2 cycling summer medals and 4 speed skating winter Olympic medals. She won her 2 bronze cycling medals at her first Olympics. Hockey fans remember Stéphane Richer, who was drafted in the second round, 29th overall, by the Montreal Canadiens in the 1984 draft. Richer went on to win the Calder Trophy in 1985, the Stanley Cup in 1986 with the Canadiens, and again in 1995 with the New Jersey Devils. He finished his career with 1,054 games played, 421 goals, and 819 points. Michael Landsberg came to terms with his depression during the Grey Cup in 2008 in Montreal. He'd known for a while something was wrong, but didn't admit it until that point in time. Landsberg started as an anchor on TSN Sports Desk in 1984, broadcasting more than 5,000 episodes. He covered multiple sports during the Olympics in 1988 in Calgary. From 1997 to 2015, he was the host of Off the Record. Landsberg knew from a young age that he suffered from generalized anxiety, yet he denied his depression, and it wasn't until he saw himself on TV that he actually got help. Darryl Strawberry is physically abused at 13 and constantly told he'll be nothing. He had an outlet in baseball, but never believed he was going to be great deep down. Clara Hughes grew up in a dysfunctional family with her parents splitting up at the age of 9, and her believing it was her fault and that she couldn't fix it. Stéphane Richer felt the pressures from the media at 19, having story after story, from not being into hockey, was a partier and gay. Later on in his career, he attempted suicide. Strawberry and Richer both dealing with it during their whole careers. Richer being told he wasn't supposed to fail or be weak or have mental issues. Clara Hughes had known all her life, but it came more to the forefront after her first Olympics in 1997-1998. And this is how it being for the athletes who tend to live their lives backwards and reaching their pinnacle peak of their lives at a young age, then chasing it for the rest of their lives. For the normal person, we live our lives striving to reach that pinnacle later on in our lives. Look at depression in the dictionary, and it won't tell you how you feel. It just feels like wherever you are, you just don't want to be there, no matter where you are. It's like when you trip and fall, and that feeling you feel the moment before you hit the ground, and it's like that all the time. People with mental issues walk that fine line. When is it all too much to bear, or what might send us over the edge, never to return? Robin Williams succumbed to his battle with depression and committed suicide. It's been argued that he had died from symptoms of Lewy body dementia by his wife, although one of the symptoms of it, as you guessed it, depression. People with depression and many mental issues need to understand it may never go away. What surprises me the most about those with mental issues is that most people won't push their mental issues for sympathy nearly as much as those with other health issues. But I digress. It's so much easier to believe the negative stuff, therefore never believe anything good can happen to us in our lives. But it can happen if you're willing to admit you need the help and reach out. Those with mental issues usually believe they're the only one. When I started talking about my depression and anxieties, I was surprised at who approached me with their personal stories. I've seen these people, and had they never told me that they had depression, I never would have guessed it. So many people, from lawyers, doctors, judges, to those living in the streets, we all put on the mask to hide it. We all figure that there are those who won't understand, who won't understand, to those who don't want to know about it. So we go through life wearing this mask and putting on a front, leaving our true feelings to a few close loved ones. Therein lies the challenge to like the good things about ourselves and simply live life. In the end, only you can help yourself. Do what you gotta do to find that light, then share it. Don't turn out that light. You don't have to have that one-way ticket. You have to learn to get away from your lowest points in your life, or away from the shadows chasing you away from your loved ones, or more importantly, yourself. Every day you wake up, be grateful for another day to breathe, live life, and smile. Sure, there are going to be days, weeks, and sometimes months with nothing feeling right, but don't let today's feelings become tomorrow's ending. Tomorrow can be better. If you just have to believe it. Let yourself have those bad days, but don't get lost or stuck there. Live with the bad days, but cherish and embrace the good ones. Make note of your breaking points, what sets you off, and learn what to do with it in each case. I won't lie to you, don't have any reasons to. So here's my closing message. Most people will just tell you that everything will be okay, just give it time. But the truth is, you're going to have your rough patches in life. Those times where life just doesn't feel worth it anymore. Nothing feels right, no one understands or loves you. There's no end in sight, and you'll be alone forever. Remember, these feelings and times are just a part of life, but they don't have to be your whole life. During those moments and times, reach out for the many hands from your close loved ones, whether friends or family. Your true friends and family will stand by you through it all. During the good days, get out, go see friends or family, and if that fails, do something for yourself. Self-care is so important, so always make time for yourself as well. Find those things that challenge you, yet comfort or relax you. Lastly, remember, it's okay to spend time with just you. Depression or anxiety or other mental issues are not to be taken lightly. They are not to be swept under the rug or voices silenced. If you or someone you know is suffering in silence or afraid to reach out, be there for them and assure them that they are not alone. And those that don't matter. And be there for them and assure them that they are not alone. And those who matter won't judge them. There is hope for those who want it. I'm living proof, and I'm still getting help and learning along the way. Life's not perfect, but no one has that perfect life. Life is what you put into it, so learn how to get through the bad days and embrace the good ones. I'm the Dark Eagle, also known as Daniel, and I'm by all means not a doctor or expert on depression, anxiety, or mental issues. This is just something that I put together and thought I'd share. It's so cliche, but if I can help just but one person, I'm happy. Always remember, you are not alone. If I can get help for my addictions and mental issues, then so can you. Believe in and love yourself. Thank you for listening. I'm the Dark Eagle. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.